Pernille just sent me hers, and had a couple different people send me some good ones. So, all right,
Awesome.
I'm gonna put it on you. All right, we're here with Tech Ninja Todd. That's Todd Nesloney, and he is a fifth grade teacher in Texas. Todd has done a lot of innovative work in his classrooms, but one of the things that we're looking to challenge you today is to talk about bringing mentors into your own teaching career and life, and also mentors in to help out your students. So thanks again, Todd, and maybe if you could just kind of give the challenge to the teachers out there taking this of how they can bring mentors into their own classroom and their own teaching life as well.
Well, thanks, AJ. Like you said, I'm Todd Nesloney. I have had the most incredible experience the last 2 years of my career, stepping outside of my comfort zone and seeking out mentorship not only for myself but for students. And I think that the biggest thing that has stuck out to me is that you have to be fearless in stepping out. I know that for me, getting involved in social media was the game changer and what started to connect me with people outside my campus. I've always been a learner and one that would learn from anybody, and I've taught with excellent teachers on my campus. But regardless of how excellent they are, their ideas are still a limited amount of ideas. When I chose to branch out and start connecting online, I was able to start connecting with and learning from educators who were all over the world, not just in my classroom or in my state. What it did for me was it allowed me to see others who are fighting some of the same battles that I fight when I try to be innovative. They provide me with advice. They have other great ideas that I would have never thought to include in my classroom. And my biggest thing that I had to get over was being afraid to talk to people, maybe because of the amount of followers they have or the notoriety that I've heard about them from others. I had to really get over that and know that in education, all of us are in this together. We are all in here to do what we can to make our students the best students that they can be. And I took that from my own learning and starting our podcast, Edu All Stars, where we jump in and we just interview people who we think are inspiring in education. That has allowed me to learn immensely just hearing people's stories and where they've been and hearing their struggles, but also their successes. Um, and I've taken that model and kind of implemented that with my students as well. And so now I'm reaching out to professional athletes, to musicians, to teenagers who are doing great things in the world, and inviting them into our classroom to inspire my students and to show my students the power of connecting with others and learning from others. Because I teach in an area where many of my students will probably never leave the state of Texas. And so I want to provide them with connections with others to show that the possibilities really are endless for what you can achieve and what you can learn. Technology allows us the possibilities to connect with and learn things that would have never been possible in years past. And my biggest challenge and encouragement to any educator is to put yourself out there and make yourself vulnerable so that you can learn from others. Because I did great things in my classroom before, and I think there's a lot of educators who are doing great things who are not connected at all and not learning from anyone. But what connecting with other people did for me was allow me to enter a whole new stratosphere of what I could do in my classroom and what I could do with my career. Things that I never would have imagined were possible or never would have dreamt up to begin with are things that I'm now doing with my kids that people in my area are like, whoa, that's amazing. How did you come up with that? And I didn't. I stole the idea from somebody else, but it benefited my kids who otherwise would have never got to do those things because I never would have heard about it because people around me weren't doing that kind of stuff. And mentorship is a big part. And you know, next year I'm moving into a different role in education. I'm taking on the leadership of leading a school as a principal. And thinking about where I was 2 years ago, and if I would have had this opportunity come up 2 years ago, I would have never survived. I would have fallen flat on my face. I would have struggled. I would have had tons of mistakes. But looking into next year and stepping into this role, I'm excited and I'm pumped. And you know, one of the biggest things I've talked about is the reason I'm so excited is because I know tons of successful administrators now that I can go to for help. I can go to for advice, I can vent to, I can get ideas from, and so that fear of stepping out there is almost gone because of the fact that I have built a support system that never existed for me before. And so it has me much more willing to step outside of the box and try crazy things because I know I'm going to have people in my corner.
All right, Todd. Well, thank you so much for sharing that challenge with our teachers. Hey, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at TechNinjaTodd, and my school bell. And you can find me on my website at toddnesloney.com. And if you just Google Todd Nesloney, no matter how you spell it, I'm sure something will come up.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Again, we appreciate it, and
Thank you.
we'll keep this rolling with our next challenge in 2 more days, so get ready for it. Thanks.